AQA required practical is on chromatography. What you will need for this practical are the following: some food colouring, I have some green, some red, some blue, some yellow, and an unknown food colouring. And I've labelled them A, B, C, D and U. You will also need a beaker, some distilled water, some capillary melting point tubes, and I'll need 5. These are thin hollow glass tubes. I'll also need a petri dish lid, a piece of chromatography paper, a ruler and a pencil, a splint and a paper clip, and a hairdryer. What I will need to do first is draw a baseline at the bottom of my chromatography paper, which will measure 1.5 centimetres in height. Like I've done here. Now on this baseline, I'm going to draw some crosses which will be 1 centimetre apart. That's where my food colouring will be placed. I will label these crosses A, B, C, D and U. Now what I will do is place my food colouring on each of my crosses using a melting point capillary tube. I will place a small amount because I don't want the spots to be too large. I'm going to dry it with my hairdryer. Then place another drop to make it concentrated. Again, I will dry it. Use my next colour, which is red, and do the same. And then my blue. And then my yellow. And finally, the unknown colour. Your chromatography paper should look like this. What I'm going to do now is fill up my beaker with a little bit of water, just enough to touch the bottom of the chromatography paper. I don't want more than the level of the food colouring, otherwise the food colouring will run. So roughly 1 centimetre to 1.5 centimetres of distilled water into my beaker. Just measure it won't touch. What I'm going to do now is put a splint to hold up my chromatography paper on the beaker and secure it with a paper clip. Lower it down gently. It's not completely touching the water. There we are. Okay. And then we're going to leave it to run. I'm now going to take my chromatography paper out of the water. And as you can see, the food colouring has run and separated into different colours. I'm now going to dry it with my hairdryer. Now on the chromatography paper I'm going to draw the solvent front, which is the maximum amount the food colouring has reached. I'm going to circle all the colours that have been separated. So I've got blue, yellow, red, orange, purple, blue, yellow, orange, some pink. Using my results, I'm going to work out what the RF value is. The RF value is the retention factor, and as you can see I have the baseline at the bottom, the solvent front on the top, and the components, which are the food colourings. I'm going to divide the distance travelled by the component with the distance travelled by the solvent, and that's how you work out the RF value.